Welcome to my channel AI Basics with AK. Here we are with another new episode for how to debug the code in Python. Why waste time? Let's directly jump into our episode. Episode 19, Python debugging. Ideally, for Python debugging, we use PDB. Okay, PDB stands for Python debugger and it's an inbuilt module. And it allows an interactive debugging for us, and we can actually understand the root cause if it is a very large program or a large function kind of a thing where the problem is happening. For this episode purpose, I have demonstrated very simple examples such that you understand the basic commands, how to you interact with this Python debugger. We can both debug it both in Jupyter Notebook, which is also a collab notebook, and also from VS Code or PyCharm. For today, I will just demonstrate in I'll show the output of Jupyter Notebook, which I have done it in Google Colab, in these slides, in the next slides. And for our demo episode, we will see how to debug it using VS Code. Got it? Now, why use PDB? As it is mentioned, it is an interactive exploration because we can inspect variables and we can actually control the flow of the entire program, and also we can actually set some breakpoints, which we will see in our VS Code demonstration, because I did not create those breakpoints in our these slides. So it actually helps in our efficient debugging. And you can actually get more deeper insights because which we'll see it in our demo, where you can actually inspect the inside of the functions, even though which we have not written. Maybe it is an for a package, we can actually get more deeper insights how actually your code is getting executed. That's beautiful, right? Now let's see some essential commands. Essential commands, as I would say, the most important thing is next, step into a function call, okay, and up, down, okay, maybe a printing, and the list, display the source code, and yeah, the quit. Most often I usually use this at this point of time. Yeah, help of course to display some informations kind of a thing. Yeah, so these are some basic essential commands that helps while we interact using a debugger. Now, how do we debug? It's very simple. We use something called magic function called %debug in our notebook. Automatically it invokes PDB here. I just kept some D here just to test at that point of time. So coming back to the function, the function here is that I imported a library called math to actually calculate the factorial of any number. What I passed is actually -1 because -1 factorial is not defined. I want to check, okay, what happens. It thrown an error, and say for example it is a long error. Right now it's very readable and the people can see that okay, the factorial is not defined for negative values. But assume it out that the program is long, then you want to interact where is actually it is happening. Now you can interact like this, okay, and then okay, the variable is num, which it is pointing it out here. Okay, num is -1. Then you can write here, okay, math dot factorial -1. What happens? Oh, it's throwing an error here, which is a value error, which we are seeing it here. Got it? So that's how you can actually do the debugging, and it's very interactive kind of a thing. And similarly here I use the same thing, but I created one more example here where I'm trying to create a modulo. Okay, I'm trying to create a modulo of 0% z, which is actually undefined kind of a thing. And then I'm trying to do the same thing here. I'm trying to display n and display I, which is actually here. And then I'm trying to do that %0% is percentage 0, oh, then I'm learning, okay, it is because of this issue. Got it? Maybe I have to handle it somehow, okay, in my program such that it does not throw error. Maybe I have to handle whenever it is 0, uh, and then I have to create an exceptions kind of a thing, which is using a try catch. Here, say for example, if the program is successfully running here, the debug does not throw, when I use a percentage debug, it does not throw anything. It says that, okay, everything is fine. It says that everything is fine. So it does not give any output at that point of time. But the moment, okay, it's the same function, but however, I have changed a little bit here, where I have changed the count and then I have removed the else statement here compared to here. And then the moment I got this error, okay, and then what I can do is that I can do a debug, and then I perform the same operations that you can see it here. So yeah, this is a quick demonstration of using Jupyter Notebook, where we can see how we can interact with our own code using a simple command called %debug, which automatically invokes the Python debugger, where you can interact like something like this. It goes up and then maybe it goes down one more level, and then you're trying to calculate what is total count and etc., and then you're finally getting into the root cause, okay, what's causing the problem. So that's very simple. And let's jump directly into our VS Code session, where we will explore furthermore nuances, how we can debug our script that we have written in using .py file. See you there. VS Code. Most of you know that this is how the VS Code looks. So this aspect of the window is the code where I can write it. So this is my Python file, and right hand here window is an extension that I have used to do the compilation as well as to give me some debugging inputs kind of a thing. So this extension name is AREPL, which is very useful, and this is one of the tools that I would like you to add in your toolset. And I have just split two terminals here so that I can run the Python file, and I can show you how we can debug the Python file here. Okay, so why waste time? Let's start with the same example that we have seen it in our slides by importing our math, and then let's define a simple factorial. Okay, it has given me very long because it's trying to address the value error and everything automatically, but I do not want to address the value error. So say value is equal to math dot factorial dot n and return value, and that's it. Let's define a variable called, okay, output is equal to factorial 5. Got it? Now automatically it's my extension compiler. It's compiled and it is storing an 120 in the output variable. I think we have seen this compiler for long in our videos. I think you might be knowing it. And how do we run it automatically? If we run this, it's very simple. That's it. Since we have not printed any output, it does not print it. Say for example, if you want to print it, okay, it prints on the console. That's it. Now when we type here -1, automatically my compiler throws an error here, value error, factorial is not defined for negative values, and it also giving me the traceback where it is giving an error which is at line 7. It has started at line 7, but actual error is at line 4 because we are calling it here. You can see the red things here. This is where the problem is. That's what it is trying to give me in a compiler here. Beautiful, right? Automatically this extension is actually giving me the exact pinpoints. Let's explore further. When we try to debug, okay, it will be much more clearer. Okay, how do we run the file name? It's very simple. Do Python and then the script. and then whatever we have seen the error in the from our extension, okay, it displays it here exactly as line 7 and line 4, etc. So that's the reason I at times use this extension. So without running, I'll come to know, okay, where exactly my issue it is. Also, we can use the Python debugger, which we have seen it in our slides, but also we can run from the terminal. Running for the terminal, it's so beautiful that we can actually execute it by step by step. I'll show it to you by just adding -m and what is that? I think PDB, I think so, and then my script. Perfect. Now it starts from the line 1. What is that line 1? Import math. And then what I have to do when I say n, which is some of the commands that we have learned today. So when we press it n, it goes to the next line. What is that line? It's factorial. When I keep n, okay, it goes to the next line because it's a function. I'm not stepping into the function. So it goes to the next line, which is defined. Now, if I want to step into that function, I have to press yes. So type s, which goes inside that function. And then when I do n, it goes inside to that function, which is value. When I say, okay, what is my num here? Okay, which is what I'm trying to pass. Is value is getting defined? Let us type value. Value is not getting defined. Let us understand why. When I keep s, which is what I want to step it further into that function, it throws an error. Value error. Factorial is not defined for non-negative values. Oh, understood. And then you can even do the same check that we have seen in our slides by typing it here. Factorial as -1. Beautiful, right? That's how it is. Now let's go back and then let's try to create a working function kind of a thing. So for example, earlier example of the previous episode that we have done it using multi-threading. So how do we run this file? Like, I think we all know that it is just simple, right? And then it executes it. It's as simple as that. Got it? Now what we will do is that let's try to extract some of these values here automatically. Since this is a debugger, automatically what is this debugger extension name is AREPL, where it actually tells you what's in thread 1 and what's in thread 2. It actually tells, okay, it has 2 different native IDs and everything. But how does this function, like how does it step by step happens, is what we can actually explore it through our debug file using this debugger function. PDB and then the file. So it starts executes step by step. Let's go, and then we know what is this task. However, we have to step inside this task. So it goes and then it creates it. Okay, it has a name, thread 1 task 1, and then it goes, it checks for any arguments, and then it checks for arguments, no, and then it checks for the target. You can check the target. Ideally it has to be task 1. Got it? And then does it has a name? You can check with this. No name at this point of time. It has not yet defined at this point of time. Got it? Now, are there any arguments? Ideally, no. And then we can just check it out, and then it's starting the current thread. Okay, it is getting the ident, and it's getting its native ID, and then it started. The event is started. It's initialized, and then that's how it is getting defined, and then it's starting the thread 2. So once that entire variables are defined, so assume that these are all your class variables or something. So once these variables are all defined, it goes into your thread 2. So that's how it gets defined. Got it? Since we are outside of this, now we cannot ideally get that target because it is inside that step function. Got it? Once we do next, okay, it will start the process. It starts it. Got it? So we are actually going into that thread.start function altogether, how it is happening. And then finally it's got created, and then the program finished and will get restarted, so we can exit it. So that's how we can actually debug step by step using this function. And then also there is the default debugger that is available, which we have been using it in our previous episodes as well, which is nothing but AREPL, which is a very good extension that it helped me. So using VS Code, you can use both of these options for your debugging, and it actually helps you out. If you don't know any of them, okay, anyways, say for example, uh, once we get an error, okay, it gives you that value error kind of thing. If you click that value error, it goes to the Google, and you can search what is that error and you can fix your code. It's as simple as that, and it's as direct as that. So yep, the debugging, it has gone very easy these days with all these tools and everything. Thanks to everybody who has cooperated, who has created all these things. That's it for today's video. Okay, see you in the next week. Hope you loved it. If you like this video and the content, please give a thumbs up and do subscribe. Thanks a lot. Have a nice day.